Egypt has been an inspiration for architects and designers for centuries, and the mysteries of this ancient land still fascinate us today. We'll meet an Illinois designer whose love of all things Egyptian has become a vital part of his one-of-a-kind Chicago home. Wait until you see this. When interior designer John Wiltgen was hired to help finish a new loft-style building in downtown Chicago, little did he know he would become one of the building's new tenants.
It wasn't until I completed the installation of the model apartments here, and the unit directly below this one was one of 3 models that we created. And when we got done accessorizing and hanging the artwork and things, I'm looking around thinking, God, I could live here. I love this, you know? Before I knew it, I was buying apartments here. It's kind of funny.
The building had once been the headquarters and manufacturing plant for a national shoe company. John loves the building's industrial roots, especially its 12-foot ceilings and abundant windows.
The tremendous amount of daylight that I get in here is one of the things that really drew me to this space. It's an international style building from the exterior, so there's horizontal bands of uninterrupted glass that run horizontally all around the building. And so there are no breaks between the windows with a brick wall or drywall or something like that. It's just all glass, and I loved that about it.
But there was one architectural feature that really closed the deal for him.
I've been collecting things that are indicative of Egyptian design for many years. I have several pieces of Egyptian glass that are 3,500 years old. I have some Yesheftis. I have some little vessels carved out of alabaster. But when I saw this apartment and I saw the columns, it was really the columns that spoke to me, because it almost looked like a typical lotus leaf column from an Egyptian temple.
So taking his cue from the columns, John set out to turn part of his apartment into an Egyptian fantasy. He felt adding Egyptian motifs would create the perfect backdrop for his collection. The fantasy begins right at the front door. Spectacular murals line the entry hall.
There's a group of artists here in town, and I had, they're called Sima Studios, and they've done work across the country, a lot of work for my firm. And I had 6 of them here for 7 weeks painting in that hallway. They were so meticulous and astute about it, and I had saved tons of imagery. In fact, a lot of the work that you see in there, we really lifted off of photographs that depicted Ramesses II's tomb. But they were so conscientious about this that after we got the original layouts agreed upon and decided on, they ran back and forth from here to the Field Museum and here to the Oriental Institute, checking specifics to make certain that they weren't painting something out of context or from a different dynasty. And I mean, I was just thrilled with the results.
So thrilled that after the initial phase was done, John had the painters come back to add murals to the kitchen.
Every time I sat in the living area at the dining table and looked back, and I said, you know, this just isn't working. I got to do more of it. And what I tell people is it's like a drug addiction. I mean, I'm now ready for them to come in and do another phase as soon as you all leave, you know, to continue painting. And one day, I mean, I love my artwork, but I think I could get rid of all of it and have every single wall, and then maybe do the ceilings after that. I mean, I love it. I really love it.
John added other Egyptian motifs, such as the casings around the doors.
The casing around the doors was a big production. They were designed to capture the essence of the mural. We wanted them to look like they too were part of this Egyptian architecture, and they were part of the doorway to an Egyptian temple. And so all of my doors here are made with these enormous crowns on the top, and the styles on the sides actually pyramid out on an angle coming forward and to the side. So it was quite a exercise in geometry to get that all to work and to fit together, and to make certain that we had the wall space to the right and the left of every doorway opening for this all to fit.
The Egyptian theme was even carried through on the doorways in the bedroom. John also added an Egyptian touch in the master bath. He placed a large ceramic tile with an Egyptian relief above the tub.
In the 21 years that I've been doing this, like the 8th house that I've done for myself, and this one came together the fastest. All my other ones, I was always like pulling my hair out, and as you can see, I don't have any left. Not knowing what to do, and I used to always think, well, I'm going to call up my friend Cal and ask him to do my apartment for me, another designer here in town. But this one, I mean, it was like instinct. I mean, the minute I bought this, I could see it totally done, and I knew every detail that I wanted, and it came together so quickly that I knew that this was the way it was always supposed to have been. When I walk through that door and come down this hallway, I really feel like I'm 4,000 or 5,000 miles away from everything that I've done that day, and I've entered into a totally different world. I've been here a year, and yeah, I really feel like I'm going to be here for a while. I really love it.
Up next. In that amazing apartment in Chicago we saw earlier, owner John Wiltgen did a terrific job adding Egyptian touches to the space. We saw the wonderful murals he added to the walls and the casements he had built out around the doors. Tying in with the Egyptian theme, he added onyx doorknobs too. He thought that onyx was something the Egyptians would have worked with. He knew they complemented the overall theme of his place. Well, our hats off to John on successfully pulling off a tricky design. The result is something I'm sure that would have made Cleopatra feel at home. I'm Joe Ruggiero, wishing you inspiration for your home. So long now.